because I went to bed around, I think, 5 o'clock in the morning. Got like 4 hours of sleep or whatever. And all for Love Bites. I saw the Love Bites live stream. They were playing in Tokyo last night, and it was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. I'm glad they had that live stream option there. I forgot how much it was, but it doesn't matter because it was worth every penny. And honestly, I don't make a whole lot of money, right? But it was so kind of like insignificant that it didn't even really matter. It's whatever. It was a reasonable amount from what I understand. From what I remember, I looked at it, I was like, oh, okay, that's fair, that's fine. And it was really cool. Only thing that would make it cooler is if you could control the angles, the camera angles. You did not have that control, but for the most part, they focused on the things that are like really, I guess, popping for that song, like Midori, Miyako. They changed it up. There was times where focus on Haruna when it was important to, Asami. Every now and then they may focus on someone who's not really doing like a solo or something. Like for that moment, it's like, hey, why's the camera on that person? Maybe shift to this other person. But whatever. Overall, it was really good. It was a really good experience. What songs did they play? They played, well, they started with We Are the Resurrection. And it starts off with the like orchestra kind of intro. And it goes right into the song We Are the Resurrection, which that song is amazing. The thing that pops out about that song is how Midori's guitar just freaking roars like a lion in that song. There's a few songs on the Judgment Day album where Midori really plays with, I don't know what it is, that the what do you call it, the guitar? When the way she just makes the guitar squeal like that, it's just really good. It's just really, really good. Of course, We're the Resurrection is a hard-hitting song. It's a good way to start the set, the show. Really good to see. I mean, the momentum of that song is pretty good, right? If you've ever heard that song before, I'm sure you have, since you're watching this, listening to this. You already know. There's a lot going on in that song, a lot of high energy there, and they keep that throughout the show. Right after We Are the Resurrection, we get Judgment Day. Oh, and Judgment Day was fantastic. You had the Fami intro, the tapping, all that. I like how the lights go all dark, and for that moment for Fami to get on there and kind of have that moment there. That song is really cool. Oh, wait. There's something else even before Judgment Day. And We're the Resurrection, Asami doesn't hold any punches. She hits the high note at the very end of We Are the Resurrection. Oh, man. Glass-shattering high note, which goes right into Judgment Day. Because in the intro, you have that Asami kind of breathing and the glass-shattering thing. Oh. Well, now you know why. It was really, really good. Guys, if you are a fan of Love Bites and you have not seen this, I highly recommend you consider in the future because it is worth the money. It's worth the money. Let's see. Then we have When Destinies Align, fan favorite song, very bright, very good, very slick, very Love Bites. It is like the quintessential Love Bites song. You got to have on any Love Bites set list. You're gonna have When Destinies Align, Are We the United, or Rising, or Shadowmaker. One of those four is a guarantee, which is weird because Shadowmaker was not on this list, but Rising was, and When Destinies Align, and We the United. But We the United is usually a closure anyway. It's a good closure. My Orion was on this. My Orion was great. You know what? I said this was not my favorite song on Judgment Day, on the Judgment Day album. But I don't know if it's like hearing it again or hearing them play it live, because this is said many, many times by me and other Love Bites fans. When you hear it live, it just sounds so much better. It's like the mix is better. Okay? Like you can hear more of what Midori's doing, what Miyako's doing. You can hear more of the bass. You can hear more of the bass and drum working together. It's just so good. And that right there, I do hear that kind of 80s kind of vibe to My Orion. It does sound like a song for a montage. It really could. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. Of course, I was in the Love Bites Discord. Everyone was throwing the My Lion thing because when Asami sings it, it sounds like, wait, is she saying My Lion? My Lion? I'm a lion? Okay. Really cool song, though. Really cool. Then we get Signs of Deliverance. Ooh, really, really good. Fantastic. It was somewhere around this time. I don't remember exactly where. I didn't write that note down. Something happens. There's like a brief moment of feedback. I think it happened during Judgment Day or something. It happened really early on. It was brief. It was noticeable. It was some feedback. It happens when you play live. All right. And it kind of the camera panned to Miyako, and you can see Miyako kind of looking at her guitar, kind of messing with something. I was like, okay, there must have been some sort of like issue with it or something. Brief. But this is something that happens with live shows. You know, you can't control for everything, and things just happen. And Miyako quickly recovered. But maybe I was reading too much into it. But it seemed like after that, Miyako was in a very serious, like very focused mode. And of course, it's normal for Miyako to be in that kind of cold, to appear cold, but really I think it's really just her being very focused and just concentrating on delivering the best she can, performing the best she can. But part of me wondered if she was kind of like feeling a certain way about that moment, about the feedback and all that stuff. I get the impression from listening to interviews with Miyako and reading up on her that she gets very hard on herself. So I wouldn't put it past her to be very critical of herself, super critical, even in that moment where it was like, it's something that just happened. It just seemed that she was, and maybe she wasn't. Maybe I'm just reading into it. But it doesn't last for long. That kind of, she then does start. Well, at first when like Asami and Midori get around her, it's kind of like, okay, she might be in a particular mental space right now after that one incident. But after that, it's like, oh, they get more relaxed, and Midori and Asami are kind of like next to Miyako and arm around her and things like that. And Midori and Miyako, of course, have that back-to-back shoulder thing when Destiny's Line. Not as back-to-back as some performances. Sometimes they're like touching. This one, they weren't. Which is what it is, I suppose. But yeah, okay. So Signs of Deliverance. Then we got Rising. Rising is an absolute must as well. Is either you have Rising or Shadowmaker. You got either one of those. Okay. Rising, a fantastic song. I absolutely love that song. I did a review of that song, and man, I love it. I love it. I cannot stress that enough. Then right after Rising, we go right into Dissonance, which is a very hard-hitting song. It's like the girls learn from listening to a lot of Slayer, and they're like, you know what? We're going to do something even better. We're going to do what they do, but even better. We're going to make it Love Bites. That way when Slayer fans hear it, they'll be like, sit down. You thought you heard very intense thrash metal? No. Get ready. You are going to break your neck headbanging to this song. Dissonance is very aggressive. It's very cool. Then we got Above the Black Sea, which is a really good song. I know. I recall saying that. I don't know if it would be in my top 10, but hearing it again, I would have to reconsider that. I think #Beth is right for those who know, and I would gladly invite her onto a stream so we could talk about Love Bites stuff and tell her, you're right, it's top 10 material. I don't know what I was smoking. Let's see. Then we have Lost in the Garden. By the way, Lost in the Garden. Before that, there is Miyako's solo piano performance, which goes right into Lost in the Garden, which is which makes sense because I remember when Miyako was doing her solo piano thing for this particular song. The name escapes me at the moment. I should have wrote it down, but you know what I'm talking about. She even referenced "Lost in the Garden" as using that as kind of like a reference, as a motif. Then we have an awesome drum solo. Haruna just destroys her drum kit. She just, but just leave it like that. Describe it like that, dude. You totally missed it. Haruna went totally ape shit on her drum kit. You know, she just destroyed it. She demolished it. She was beating on him so hard, so fast, so furious that she just broke him, man. He missed it. Then she took a cymbal and threw it into the crowd and then decapitated someone. No. You totally missed it, guys. You'll never see this again. No. It was a cool drum solo, though. It was cool. It was very cool. And Haruna's, of course, is always like smiling and happy when she's doing it. I don't know how she does it. Every now and then, the camera will catch her at a moment where like she's like really focused and concentrating with a smile kind of fades just a bit. If she gets focused, like super serious. No, I don't know. Not Miyako level serious, but like concentrating, you know? But most time, it's all smiles. Let's see, then we have Stand and Deliver, which, okay. Stand and Deliver is one of my favorite tracks off of Judgment Day. This live performance was okay. It was great where it was. The instrumentation was great. The drums were great. The guitars were great. The bass was great. Asami was great. Now, but there's times in this song, and this happens when I hear it live, it's like something happens. I feel like that the backing vocals, they're not like I guess the way they made it sound on the album, there was like obviously post-production done there to make it sound, I guess, the way it did. Because when you hear it live, it's like, well, that sounds a little off, but okay. Hopefully, you know, am I the only one who hears that? I like the song. The song is really cool. It has some really nice attitude to it. It is like I compare it. When I hear that song, I envision like a gunslinger sort of movie, or, you know, like Fast and Loose, and I don't know. It's really cool to me. I like that song. It's really good. But it's just something about that chorus. It doesn't hit the same way. And I guess they're trying to still figure it out, I guess. But they'll get it down. Because it's not the only song that has backing vocals. But I will say, that's one thing that was kind of in the mix. The backing vocals are practically not even there. Yeah, like you didn't really hear them. Like, oh. So yeah, no, okay, so they did Don't Bite the Dust, which they play that song quite a bit. Some people might be like, they play the song a little too much. I really like it. It has that kind of like Iron Maiden sort of sound to it. It has that galloped sound to it. Of course, it's Iron Maiden made better with Love Bites, okay? Let's be honest there. It's a nice song, but after that, you get MDO, which is like intense thrash. It's like you're gonna you're gonna bust your forehead on a wall sort of thrash, okay? Then we get Edge of the World. Everything slows down and stops for a minute. We get Edge of the World, which that song, while some may skip over because it starts off slow and soft, that song has a nice build to it. It has a nice, intense build that just makes it worth it. If you were there for the metal and you're there for like the intensity, stick with that song. Don't skip Edge of the World, because it delivers. And that softness in the beginning, that soft, like soulful delivery, it makes that intensity at the end so much better. Then you have SSS, Soldier Stands Solitarily. A really good song, really cool to hear it. Man, great performance. And once again, let me just say, everything sounded crisp. Like Midori, you can hear what she's doing very well. Miyako, Haruna's drums thundering away. Fami's bass. It was so good. Now, as far as the encore, we didn't get 2 songs. We got 3 songs. and Hammer of Wrath was one of them. Now, as I mentioned earlier, the backing vocals are kind of like not even really there. That's kind of with Hammer of Wrath. That part was like almost non-existent. I didn't even really hear it. But Hammer of Wrath was played, and it was very intense. It was very cool. Then we got Under the Red Sky, which, by the way, around this time is the time where Miyako brings out her new $10,000 guitar, her Haruna Flying V. And it looks great on her. Absolutely. Money well spent? I agree. I think so. Then we get We the United, which I think I might be missing a song. No. Oh, that's right. Hammer of Wrath, We the United, Under the Red Sky. There you go. Those are the three. Because, yeah, and with the United, the one thing that stands about that performance is that they were really moving around on stage, and it was not planned. You could tell. Like, it was like Midori goes over here, Miyako kind of follows, and Fami's like doing her thing, and she looks over there. Oh, I want to go over there and hang out with my big sisters. And she goes over there. Okay, it was good. It was so cool. And of course, you know, Fami was smiling like the whole time. It was rare to see her not when she gets in serious mode. Anyway, that's my thoughts, a review of the live show. I liked it. It was really good. I enjoyed it a whole lot. You know, it would have been cool to fly out to Japan to see them, but you know what? This is actually a more affordable, more convenient. You think about it. Actually, I kind of like this better. I can drink my own beers. I don't have to worry about spending like, you know, $10 on a beer. I can, you know, have my 12-pack ready to go. The cameras can be right up on the people. It's going to be great. And if I need to use the bathroom, it's just right there. It's great. It's very convenient. It's very cool. And it's just another way for bands to bring in even more revenue because, like, there's no limit. Like, other than bandwidth. Imagine that. Imagine if more bands did this. Imagine they are. Because you could sell at your show, and then in addition to that, you can sell tickets to watch them on a stream, and then you can even make even more money on top of that since you're already recording it and streaming it. If it's a good performance, make a Blu-ray out of it. People will buy it too. Nice. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the Love Bites thing. It was really good. I highly recommend. Definitely don't pass it up. And yeah,